good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. We are Koree and Sylvia, Bichanga, and we're glad you guys are here. Today we are doing a unique video. We're not going out, just a sit down video, and if you follow us on Instagram, as you should, because we give daily updates there that you won't see on our channel, you would have seen that I posted a question box to drop questions for us. So a lot of you have done that, and we have approximately 20 questions here.
Wow.
That you guys sent in. Some of them were repeat. So I tried to kind of combine them all in one. So we are going to be answering your questions that you had for us today. So the question, go ahead.
So the first one goes to her, because we have about 21 summits for me that I need to answer. A few are for us to answer, and some are for her to answer too. So the first question goes like this: what is something you miss from America that you can't have in Africa?
Where to begin? There's a lot of things that I miss from America that I can't have in Africa. One of them being family. Why are you jumping around?
Okay.
One of them being family. I miss my family a lot. I can't have them here. Secondly, I miss American food, especially all the junk food. Sad to say. I miss American food a lot. Like, I'll be going through Instagram and I'll just see someone having a pizza party, and I'll literally pause on the picture and just look at all the pizza and look at all the good food. You'll know one day what I'm saying. I miss cheese from America, good cheese. They don't have the best cheese here. So many things.
But we are trying, Question number two. Are you still attending the Mennonite church?
This is now a question for the two of us.
We are.
Part-time. So the way Mennonite churches work generally is you're either a member or you're not. If you're not, you're more like a visitor. So that's kind of what we are. We're both visitors. We are not members there, but occasionally we go to church there. If we don't go to church there, we have a Christian couple that they come to our house and we have church together with them. So his parents also have a church. At times we visit there. So those are like the three options we have every Sunday. So
Yeah, I like this one. Question number three. How do you navigate the cultural differences?
Question number 3 actually kind of has 3 questions in one, but we're going to take them each one at a time.
Yes.
So that's the first question. How do you navigate the cultural differences?
Okay, on my side, it's
By the way,
about
the banging in the background, we haven't addressed that.
Oh, yeah.
They're building a fence outside our house, so we're sorry in advance for the banging.
And actually, it's something that it's gonna take like most of the day, so we just have to do this, What I was going to say is, for us, we don't always communicate. We assume things. We like to assume,
like the African people.
Sorry, my African people, but we assume a lot, so we end up not communicating.
Yeah, and also it takes a lot of just praying about it, and also being like forgiving to each other about it. Like if things come up where we have misunderstandings, at times there are big cultural differences. Obviously, me coming from a very conservative background and him being an African, they're like the most opposite sides of the spectrum that you can get, but just communicating, like you said.
If things don't go so well for us and we have like a small misunderstanding. For me, I usually need like space, just a bit of space to to cool down. But for her, it's something different.
Yeah, my family, we grew up like, if some issue came up, it's not this thing of give me space. It was always like we talked things out when the issue happened. Sometimes it wasn't very nice, but whether we were shouting or whether we were what, things got talked out, and at the end of the day, everyone knew how everyone else was feeling, and we were able to move on. So, coming from a family setting like that, where if an issue comes up, you just hash till everyone is on the understanding. What happened? Whose fault was it? And I'm not saying it's necessarily the right way to do it, because there's also some regrets that come from dealing with things in that way. I'm just saying that's the way I grew up. And then him coming from a family where they don't really talk about anything. You
Right
just
away.
let things go.
No, at times we don't talk, right away. We just we need like some time to cool down so that we can talk later. You understand?
It's such a foreign thing for me to like, where you leave someone, there's an issue, I don't know what he's thinking, he doesn't know what I'm thinking. In my mind, I'm screaming, let's talk. In his mind, he's like, give me space to cool down. Then I bring you some chapatis and beans, then we talk.
No, that's not true. Okay, continue. So,
Question number 3, the second part. Question number 3 has 3 parts. So the second question in question number 3 is, what are some of those challenges and how did you work them out? I think we just talked about that.
Yeah.
How much of each other's culture will you embrace in your home? I don't know exactly about that. We haven't talked too much about it. He comes from a very non-traditional family. They don't have too many traditions. But as far as language, we do want our kids to be having 3 languages: English, my mother tongue, Pennsylvania Dutch,
And
Swahili. So other than that, we'll be cooking American foods as well as Kenyan foods. Yeah?
I am a Kisi.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we just jumped over the fact that he doesn't know his mother tongue.
so I don't think they'll be able to understand Kisi.
But I wouldn't necessarily want them to. Swahili, it's like they can use Swahili everywhere in Africa. As in Kisi, it's just the language of a certain tribe. So question number 4.
Question number 4. What are your common goals for the next 2 years?
Wow, that's a big one, because in Africa we take one day at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know where the next day's meal is coming from at times. So to plan out 2 years in advance is a big thing. But I think our goal for us being here in Kenya would just be to stabilize financially, where we can support ourselves better than what we are right now. And waiting for paperwork to go through so that I can legally keep staying here and he can get his visa.
Basically for me is to for the next 2 years, it's for her to learn the African culture, to get to know how things are being done, to understand the African people, to learn how to prepare an African food. Yeah, just to know most of the African things.
And also being here and seeing the way families are raised. It helps me to understand the way my husband was raised and the way he responds to things because of the way he was raised. So it's a learning experience, definitely.
So, question number 5. When are you moving to the US of A or United States of America or the USA?
Hey. Yeah. So that's a big question. We don't know. It depends largely on when we start his visa processing, of which we haven't even started on that. So we don't know.
But we hope for the best.
Yeah. Also with COVID, the embassies are a mess. So right now we are just working on getting my dependency pass so I can keep staying here indefinitely. Question number 6. Is it easy for foreigners to find a job in Kenya? No. The Kenyans don't even find it easy to find their own job. For a foreigner to come in, you have to actually go through some testing. You have to get your GED so that you can get your work permit. So yeah, and oftentimes work permits can be declined if they think that you as a foreigner coming in are taking jobs away from Kenyan people. They will decline your work permit. So generally foreigners who are here are not people that come here looking for a job, but people who bring money here to start a business to employ African people. Tourists bring money here because they love all the natural, like going on the safaris and things like that. Businesses like that, they bring tourists and money here. But as far as starting a business as a foreigner here, or even coming here to look for work, for sure, no. Very likely you will not find a job. And that's why you find me, I'm at home trying to hustle, making pizzas, selling pallets, helping him make pallet beds, because I can't go out in town and get a job as a foreigner without all the proper paperwork and things that we won't get into.
Question number 7. What is the hardest part of living in a developing country after living the American life? So many questions are for you.
The hardest part, I think, for me would be
cultural difference.
Yeah, cultural difference, but also just the fact of most people here, they have like a poverty mindset where relationships here aren't strong, and it's not what I was used to back home. Having people all around you that you can trust, like you can give them your wallet because you trust them that much. Here it's like people are constantly seeing how they can take advantage of each other. It sounds bad, but it's the truth. Like it's more about how can I gain because I'm suffering. And if you have more than me, you need to share with me. And so I think that's one of the harder parts of after living the American life, coming here, is just seeing how much people try to take advantage of you, I guess. And there's no trust. Like you don't trust anyone. And that's been kind of hard. So question number 8 is for Honey Bunch. Koree, what was your first impression of the Mennonites and of the American people?
They're so loving. They care about each other. And their way of life, it's more, which word can I use?
They value community and working together and being together.
And also, they just, for me, I feel like they're so close to God, you know. Like their lifestyle, it's just amazing.
I think the honesty and the trust that they value between each other, it's really spoken to you, Cynthia.
Yeah. Compared to, I don't want to say.
Compared to people outside.
Yeah. And for the American people, just almost close to, you know, the Mennonites. And that's why I fell in love with her. American people are so loving, and their love for you, it's 100%. They don't.
He hasn't met many American people, just say.
But
most of the American people you've met, they've been Mennonites. So his opinion of American people in general, it goes hand in hand with the Mennonite people. So, because
say what?
There's a lot of bad Americans, babe. I mean, there's a lot of good ones too.
Number 9. What are the temps in Kenya? I mean the temperatures, right? It's between
70s to 80s.
Yeah. But for us it's about 20 degrees Celsius to around 28 degrees Celsius. Question number 10.
Any advice for people in similar situations as y'all's love story?
Okay, for me...
If you don't know our love story, go on our channel, on our videos, we have our love story, a whole hour.
Yeah. So, if you really love your partner, fight for that love. Don't ever give up, because that's what we did. We actually went through a lot of challenges, and we never gave up on each other. We really fought for this.
And I don't know what advice to give if you're in the same shoes as I was in the early days when my parents were not approving. It's a hard place to be. As for that, I would advise you, be open. If you're below 21, for sure, be very open to what they have to say to you. Hear out their concerns. Hear out what they have to say. Don't be quick to run on your own ideas. If you're a mature adult, also include your own judgment in the matter. Take what your parents or your people that are the people that you look up to, like, be humble, listen to what they say, but at the end of the day also use your own judgment and pray about it a lot, and then go where it's the right path for you.
Question number 12. Do you plan to start a family soon?
He's looking in the camera, but he's looking at me. We're open to it, definitely. Like, I mean, ideally, I wouldn't have a kid till we get to the States so that I have proper hospital care. But we're open to it. We're not like stressing about it. If it happens, it does. If not, it's God's will. So yeah, we're open to starting a family.
Question number 13. People who rejected your relationship in the first place, how do they feel now? Do they accept you?
Some do and some don't, really. I mean, if being honest, like, most are accepting now, and we even saw a big difference after we shared our love story and we shared how the whole thing went. I had countless people texting me saying like, now that I know your story, it makes sense. Like, I used to judge your decision, but now hearing your side of it, like now that I've heard your side of it, it makes sense to me. So I feel like just putting out our story for everyone, it actually made a big difference in how people view us. Still, there's people who are kind of waiting for it to go bad. Like, let's give them some time. But really, there'll always be those people in life waiting for you to fail.
Yeah, they should grab their popcorns.
They should grab their popcorns. So he's saying it's gonna be a while. Question number 14. What have been the best and also the hardest parts of marriage? The best part is obviously being together all the time after suffering through long distance relationship for a long time.
Yeah.
The best part is being together all the time, and the worst part is being together all the time. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing, and some days it's like you just need space and you need to breathe outside being together.
But
Sindio.
yeah, but we are learning
Sindio
each
means
other.
isn't it? I keep saying that. Sindio, it's isn't it in Swahili.
Yeah. So we are learning each other, you know, and I think that's the best part of the marriage, getting to know your partner well. And for me, the hardest part of the marriage is to stay away from her.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I usually enjoy spending time with her, but whenever we are like, when there is work, you know, and I have to leave her in the house, I miss her so much. I miss my baby, my honey bunch. And also to add, on the hardest part of our marriage is to we still face the cultural difference, the communication,
Misunderstandings.
yeah, and also time, you know, not keeping time. So there are a few, but God has been so good to us. Question number 15. Oh,
Are you preparing Koree for cultural shock upon coming to the USA?
yeah.
I know what you're gonna
Yeah. I'm freezing always at night. It's like I sleep inside a freezer.
It's not that bad.
It's
Literally,
so cold.
it's not even AC. It's a fan.
Hey.
I have to
it's
sleep with a
but
fan.
where we live, it's a bit cold. It's cold,
Where?
it's
In the
cold.
fridge.
So plus the fan, so you can just.
The only place cold is in the fridge. For real, it's not cold here.
Okay, I just say that it's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Compared to down in Kisumu town.
wow,
We are a bit up on the mountain, yeah.
that place is so hot.
But I think
It's like they're living inside
I'm
an oven.
succeeding because, you know, he always complains like, I'm in a freezer, I'm sleeping with the fan on, because I need the fan at night. And I face it away from us, but he's still wrapped in tons of blankets. But last night, he actually fell asleep on the couch, and I came out, and the living room fan was on. He turned it on.
It is for the mosquitoes, sorry. It's to keep the mosquitoes away.
But you also like the sound, right? To fall asleep to it.
Yeah, so
Hallelujah.
I'm starting to get used to the fan, because yeah, to be honest too,
The noise
I was
is
feeling
amazing.
so hot, so I like when it's cool, you know, and also
So-
the noise from the I'm enjoying the noise too.
Yeah.
It's always the bombshell.
So as far as preparing him for actual culture shock, obviously America is not always cold, so it's not the only thing there that you have to get used to. But
Maybe
Um,
winter?
From my experience coming from America to Africa, the culture shock that I faced coming here, nothing could prepare me for it. I heard about Africa. I seen maybe in movies how they do things, but actually arriving in a country, you can very little prepare for it. He'll face culture shock, and as much as you've seen movies about how they do things in the US, it's
And I'm
not
still
the same.
seeing the movies up to now.
I mean, there's definitely still times when I'll tell him something and he'll be like, "What? That's the way it is?" But I think I could talk for years to try to prepare him, and he'd still have culture shock. He's never been out of Kenya. He'll have culture shock, no doubt.
But in my dreams, I've been in Uganda. In my dream.
Uganda's almost like the US, right?
Number 16. What church will you attend? Okay, what church?
I expect they're talking about when we get to the States side.
Yeah, exactly.
So there is a Mennonite church there that I have been attending. So I'm guessing that's where we'll go. It's just like locally in our hometown. There was a church that branched off of my former church. So that's probably most likely where we are going to go to until we know whether we'll stay there or not.
Yeah.
Question 17, is blending your cultural differences a big challenge? I think we've kind of talked about this one in short already. At times it is a big challenge, but like we said before, it's all about communication, loving and forgiving each other, really. It goes a long way when it comes to those misunderstandings. Like there's times he does things and I'm like, oh my word, are you seriously doing that? And it's reversed. There's times I do things and he's like, oh my word, please don't. Like it's so improper in my culture. So we have those moments. Question number 18.
Question number 18. Will you get the COVID vax?
That's a big controversial question. I can say for both of us.
Yeah, it's
We're
something
not
that we've
huge-
already talked about it.
Yeah. Like we're not huge on the vaccine. But if there was a scenario where we couldn't travel back to the US without it, like if we would be forced to get it to go back home, we probably would do that. But just getting the vaccine of our own choice, no. Question
number 19. What season is it there?
So they only have 2 seasons, rainy season and dry season.
Yeah.
Right now we are in rainy season. So it means during the day it's usually nice and sunny. Afternoon between 1 to 3 it starts clouding over and we usually have an evening rain.
This is the time when the wildebeest are migrating from Tanzania to Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we actually have some people that we know right now. They're at the Masai Mara. It's a nice resort where you get to do game drives, seeing the big 5, seeing rhinos, lions in the wild. Amazing place. If any of you guys want to do a safari tour or want to have that experience in Africa, let us know. We can hook you up with the right people. That was not a paid promotion.
yeah.
Question number 20. Where did you meet your husband? I met my husband while being a missionary here in Kenya. My family was here as missionaries, and that is where I met him.
Actually, it's in one of our videos that we've done before.
Yeah, our love story.
Yeah.
Go listen to our love story.
Number 21. Is it more or less difficult adapting the African culture?
I would say it is less difficult than I thought it might be. Howbeit, it's still difficult at times. Especially things like you sit in a room with family or friends and the first 2 minutes are English, after that it's Swahili. So you will sit there feeling lost. It's like I've explained to him, and I know people don't do it to offend me, and I try my best not to be offended. But I've explained to him, it's like being underwater with your eyes open. You can see people's mouths moving, but you can't hear what they're saying. And then I find myself the whole time I'm trying to catch English words and try to put together what they're saying. So some things like that, they're hard, but generally it's nothing that I can't deal with or I can't walk through.
I'm teaching her Swahili, so
we're trying. He actually...
So we hopefully in the next 2 years, she will be able to not only to speak, but to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And at least be able to understand what my people are talking about.
Like, as for now, I can understand a lot. When someone's talking, I can understand a lot, but I still need to learn how to speak it. He downloaded a program on the laptop, so I'm going through that. I'm trying to learn Swahili, guys. But
Okay, so
in short, it's not as hard as I expected it to be so far. There might be challenges in the future, but as for now, the culture, they're very friendly. I have amazing in-laws, his parents. They're so loving and accepting and always there for us.
So talking about Swahili, habari yako?
Nzuri sana.
Yeah, she's doing good.
That's just like, how are you? I'm fine. Everyone knows that.
Hakuna matara.
Anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it's not too long. If you got all the way to the end, congratulations. And we will see you guys next week with another video of our life here in Kenya. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We love you all. Subscribe to our channel and like this video. Bye.
Bye.